Man has always been interested in mysterious and ancient civilizations because it is really interesting how he lived many centuries ago. Today we will tell you about one of them. We present 15 facts that will open the curtain of the mysterious ancient Egypt. On the first place is medicine. Egyptian medicine was at a very high level in those days. Each doctor had his own specialty and a decent knowledge of human anatomy. Egyptian medics knew how to do heart bypass surgery, remove tumors, and even make prostheses. Egyptians wore prosthetic eyes, teeth, fingers, and even limbs. And antibiotics were made from plants. A little history at first glance, ancient Egypt seems like a small period. But in fact the state existed for more than 15 centuries, from 900 BC and fell in the 7th century. In third place are the rings. It was the Egyptians who invented wearing wedding rings on the ring finger. They symbolized love. They wove rings of cane and animal skin, then they learned how to use iron. The Egyptians also invented the police. It appeared around 2000 BC. Guards of order fought swindlers, looked for criminals, and guarded the city. And they walked with service dogs. Everyone asks the question, were there pharaohs or not? Most of us think there were pharaohs in ancient Egypt, but that's not true at all. In fact, the ruler of the lands here was called a king, and the word pharaoh appeared much later and is found only after the birth of Christ. History of the longest stay in power. The longest stay in power in ancient Egypt was Pop II. He ruled for a full 94 years. How did it happen? He ascended to the throne at the age of 6 and died at almost 100 years old. Before he lived only 1 hour. Marriage contracts. It was in ancient Egypt that the first marriage contracts were made. They were made with the help of the king's viceroy. According to the contract, the husband had to support his wife, and if the couple decided to divorce, he had to return the dowry. Transfer of power from the state. As in many states, power in ancient Egypt was passed from father to son. But it happened that there were no heirs to the throne, and then the king's daughter was in power. For example, a certain queen, Hatshepsut, even wore a false beard, as did her predecessors. How the clothes were worn. The Egyptians had special clothes. Men wore a loincloth made of unadorned cloth, then there were tunics. Women wore dresses and a shawl of linen. What were the amusements? The Egyptians also invented a lot of entertainment. For example, the ancestor of chess, the Senate, appeared in 3500 BC. The truth about funerals. Contrary to popular belief, along with the ruler were not buried his servants and his wife. It was very expensive, and there is no special logic. It was better for the servants to work and be useful. What makeup was? Makeup in this state was done not only by women, but also by men. Green or black eye dye, according to their beliefs, had healing properties. Tomb of Egypt. When they built a tomb for a king, they knew it had to contain everything necessary for the afterlife. That's why they found things in the tombs, remnants of dishes and vases that had drinks in them, and even a toilet. Egyptian economic development. The Egyptians were leaders in the domestication of animals even in the prehistoric period. They were the first to domesticate the goat, later the cow, the donkey, and then the goose. But the Egyptians apparently began to like cats much later, in a period closer to the collapse of the state. Study of ancient Egyptian history. Today, scientists do not need to open sarcophagi and disassemble the mummy to understand its age and occupation during life. All investigations are done with the help of a computer tomograph.